Hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today I want to take a quick look at Gara's signature throwing knives that have been released with update 22, Plains of Eidolon, the Fusilai. Now, even though I'm usually not the biggest fan of throwing knives in Warframe because there are just so many different things you can do, using throwing knives feels like you're trying to have as little fun as possible, I was actually interested in the Fusilai because of their unique mechanic which allows you to throw more than one knife at a time. So let's finally check these bad boys out. So you get the blueprint for the Fusilai from the market. The blueprint itself will cost you 20,000 credits, and to build the weapon you have to put an additional 20,000 credits, 2,950 rubido, 10,000 salvage, 1,350 polio bundles and 2 alertium. The Fusilai requires you to be at least mastery rank 5 to use it, and it does 77 damage with each thrown knife, 46.2 is slash and 30.8 is puncture. It also has 6 rounds or knives in the magazine, 0.8 second reload time, and it comes with a V polarity. Then for the primary fire, which functions just like all the other knife weapons, we have 23% crit chance with a 1.7 times multiplier and 29% status chance, and for the secondary fire, which will throw 3 knives in a cone in front of you, we have 3% crit chance, 1.5 times crit multiplier and 37% status chance. Also, even though it looks like the secondary fire does 3 times as much damage as the primary fire, it's actually the same because the damage is split between the 3 knives. And I almost forgot to mention that the primary fire mode has fire rate of 2.83 and the secondary one has 1.5. The build I ended up using in the end is a fairly standard hybrid build for secondary weapons. So we have Hornet Strike for damage, Barrel Diffusion for multi-shot, Lethal Torrent for fire rate and multi-shot, Primed Pistol Gambit for crit chance, Prime Target Cracker for crit damage, then Pistol Pestilence and Frostbite for viral damage and ton of status chance, and finally Scorch for even more status chance and heat damage. Though what you could do is replace Scorch with Primed Heated Charge, which would give you more heat damage at the cost of a little bit of status. Now it shouldn't come as that much of a surprise that the weapon is doing an absolute crap ton of damage because it's using one of the strongest builds in the game. Hybrid builds are incredibly powerful right now, and they're even better for secondary weapons because we have primed crit mods. The DPS on these weapons is just kind of ridiculous because you have crit slash procs doing an obscene amount of damage over time, and when you combine them with viral procs, they're essentially doing double damage because viral will cut the enemy health in half. This very build is why I personally think the newer weapons that can use the build only have like 1.7 times or even 1.5 times crit multiplier, because this build with a 2 times multiplier or even a 2.5 times multiplier is just way too strong. I think the devs kind of regret giving us primed crit mods. And now we come to the conclusion. So what do I actually think about this weapon? Well, I think the weapon is kind of garbage. It is the smallest magazine out of all the throwing knives, the fire rate is pretty low, and the alternative fire is just awful. It does good damage, but that's about it. And that's only for the primary fire. The damage on the secondary fire is kind of lackluster because it has basically no crit whatsoever, so the damage falls off rather quickly. I tried to build the weapon for more raw damage to help the secondary fire a little bit and make it scale a little bit better, but that hit the primary fire really hard and it just cut the damage basically in half. Then there is the fire rate thing where the primary fire fires so much faster that you can basically hit just as many enemies as you can with the secondary fire because it's just so much slower. Then the secondary fire mode has the same issue that the secondary fire on Quanta has, where if you don't have enough rounds in the magazine, it just doesn't do anything. It won't reload because you still have ammo in the magazine, but it also won't throw the knives. And that is really frustrating on both this and the Quanta. Now if you're like me, you might be thinking, hold on a second, this could actually be a really cool weapon for a stealth frame because it's kind of like Artemis bow, you know, it can hit multiple enemies, so you have a little bit of AoE, but it doesn't cost any energy. And the low damage of the secondary fire mode isn't that big of a deal because you get bonus damage from stealth. Well, there is a problem there. Because for whatever reason, the devs decided that the secondary fire mode is not going to be silent, it's alarmingly loud, so if you use it, you will alert everything in the room. Why? I don't know. So yeah, I would only recommend you pick this up if you're like a big fan of throwing weapons, or if you want the mastery from it. That's about it. And that's pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching, as always, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.